What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm excited to have you here. This is New Comic Book Day for March the 24th of 2021, and the list is extremely short, but there's also an amazing title on here, so I'm really excited for this week. Before I ramble too long, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, comment, connect, follow, do whatever you do on the platform you're on. Just look for my furry face inside of an orange circle and press all the buttons next to it. So the first book I want to talk about this week is called Rabid World. This is a new #1. I believe it's from Scout, and honestly, I don't know anything about it. It mostly made the list because the cover is vaguely interesting. I like the name, and there's only 5 books on my list, so I needed to add something to try to keep it from completely dwindling. The other title I want to talk about, Frank at Home on the Farm. This is the 3rd book in this entry. I really like this series. I have it all from when they ran it as a Kickstarter. Now Scout is releasing it to a new, a new audience by going through Diamond and putting it in comic shops. And so I'm excited to see how this all plays out, because it's a series I really enjoyed. I picked up all of it across, I think, like the last 3 Kickstarter campaigns they did. I did a catch-up tier, and then I bought each subsequent book, and I really love it. I think it's a great, like, horror-esque kind of book. It's about a World War II soldier. He comes home to the farm, and none of his family's there. It's very strange how things play out. He goes into town, he talks to people, they don't seem to even know who he's talking about. So it's a really weird, crazy, twisted tale. And there's definitely like some horror thriller vibes in it, a lot of mystery and intrigue. Great series, really enjoy it. Usagi Yojimbo #17 is out from IDW this week, and this has been a great series. I've spoken quite a bit about it. I'm like 4 or 5 books behind on it, to be honest, so I really need to get caught up on it, and maybe with releases slowing down as much as they are, maybe I'll finally have some time to clear out some of that backlog. That way I can give you an accurate description as to what's going on in Usagi right now, and what you can expect. But overall, I really enjoy Usagi Yojimbo as a character and as a series. Stan Sakai's been writing it for like 35 years or something, and the way he has dialed in all the storytelling is just absolutely awesome. It's very like quirky and kid friendly, but it also resonates with adults and kind of reminds you of this other world where things are a lot simpler and a lot more enjoyable. And over the course of like 2 and 3 issue installments, Stan Sakai can really create like these awesome moments and these memorable stories. So I really enjoy it for what it is, and I think a lot of other people would too. Power Rangers #5 is out this week. I've really enjoyed the series. They relaunched with Mighty Morphin and with Power Rangers, and there's a lot of really good stuff happening in Mighty Morphin right now. They just revealed the secret identity of the new Green Ranger. We got into the nuts and bolts of kind of how that whole system is working and everything that's going on with that. And so on the Power Rangers side, we've seen these 3 classic Rangers become new Rangers. And, so that was a really cool way to play that. They brought in Draken as we know him. And so it's a really cool way to, the way they've been exploring genre in Power Rangers has really caught my attention. I think both series are great, but overall Power Rangers holds my attention a little bit more, I think mostly because they're doing different genres. And so every issue I kind of have something to look forward to beyond just what's going to happen with these characters, but also like what kind of experimentation is Ryan Parrott going to get into this month with genre. So we got like this cool Western vibe going on. They were lost on a planet where they were rediscovering kind of who Draken is in a way, and before that we got like these space horror kind of issues. So I'm really enjoying all the like new different things that they're trying to kind of like spice up Power Rangers, and it's been really fun to me. The final book on my list this week, Bitter Root #11. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad this series is back. I'm going to be rereading through the second story arc for sure. I've been through the first story arc and the Red Summer Special a couple times, so I feel pretty stable with that content. However, the second arc, I've only read it one other time since I read it in single issues as it was released. So I'm definitely going to be going back to check that out. I absolutely love the way that they cliffhanged the end of the second arc. Like in the first series, I wasn't like super into Blink, I guess. Like, she was a cool character, she's there, and I like what she represented. But in the second story arc, they really brought her kind of to the forefront, and then the way that they dropped that cliffhanger on you at the end, I'm so excited to see what this means. Bitterroot is about to... Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love Bitterroot because it touches like the heart and the soul of a lot of issues that we're facing in America. A lot of the racial tensions, a lot of the different things that we're going through as a country. Like it obviously touches on those, and that's really a big part of what Bitterroot is. But there's also just this amazing world building going on where you know, in the second arc, you really get into like all the other dimensions, the interdimensional travel, the interdimensional beings, the time travel. I don't know, like it's just the way that they handled the second arc I really like, because it means the third arc is probably about to like just blow this wide open where we could have anyone anywhere. I don't want to like start to speculate on like Bitterroot spin-offs, because honestly, I don't know if I'm that into like spin-offs, but I love that the third one has the potential to make the universe massive. Something that Bitterroot can just like keep going and going and going. And so I'm really excited. The second arc, I don't know, like I really want to talk about it, but I feel like this book, to me, it's kind of the same as with We Live. Like the surprises and the twists and the turns that I go through with Bitterroot, I don't want spoiled, because I think people, I don't know, like I just, We Live and Bitterroot are two books that I think once they're spoiled, it would not be the same experience. And these are teams that are just knocking it out of the park. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm telling you, you need to be reading Bitterroot. The second arc was so good. It ends with like some great things. Lots of interdimensional travel, lots of monster fighting. I mean, honestly, more than likely, Bitterroot is not 100% what you think it is until you start reading it and you start to see all the like family ties and the mythology and the lore that they've built into it. The world is like absolutely massive, but it takes place, and it takes place in large places, don't get me wrong, but there's something very intimate about it. Whenever they're in Harlem and they're fighting the Janu, it has like this very small town vibe because you're dealing with this family. And even in the second arc, they kind of expand out a little bit and you get to meet the monster hunters from the other boroughs. And that's really cool, but it still feels intimate. In the second arc, they go to Georgia, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was Georgia. They go to Georgia, and it's like this big, like, grassy field and stuff, and there's all this things happening, like, out in the country, you know, but it still feels intimate. And that's what I really like about Bitterroot, is like it creates all these moments where you can really focus on what's going on, even though this is like a universe-ending level disaster. Like, it's the kind of event that we complain about in superhero comics, but somehow Bitterroot is doing like this weird pseudo superhero thing that is still feels intimate. Like it feels like the Netflix Marvel stuff, the way that Daredevil and Luke Cage and all of that, like how it felt like it was taking place like all on the same block or something, you know, not claustrophobic, just like it felt grounded. And Bitterroot's like that. I mean, you're traveling to other dimensions, you're traveling through time, you're dealing with racism and stuff, but and you're fighting monsters, but it always feels intimate. So Bitterroot is a series, probably easily one of my favorite comic book series of all time. Like, I know there's like a ton of comics I've never read and that are classics that people will be like, oh, but what about this? I don't care. Like, Bitterroot and We Live have set new standards for me as far as like storytelling and comic books, and honestly the blending. Like, Bitterroot is something that should be like so popular. Like, it's crossing so many threads that people love. And again, We Live, I feel like everybody that didn't read that series thought it was something from what it actually is. And whenever you read it, like, again, it's this perfect mesh of something that should be very popular right now, and people are just sleeping on it. So this has been more of a rant than an actual list of new comic book day books, but that's all I have for this week. I'm excited for what's coming out, even if the list is short. Bitterroot's on there, so who cares if anything else is... That's probably why the list is so small this week, to be honest. They were all scared. So I'm going to be checking out Bitterroot. Expect to see a lot of that on my social media. Check me out at all my different outlets and stuff. You can go to NUEXGUY.com and find me there. I have a Patreon now, so if anybody wants to go over there. I do regular, like, open posts, so anybody can see and follow me. And then there's also some additional levels and stuff if you want to support me financially. So that's where I'm at right now. Things are going awesome. I'm really excited for Bitterroot. Let me know in the comments, what are you guys excited for? Don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Send it to at least one friend. And maybe they'll be excited about Bitterroot the same way I am. So until next time, keep flipping pages.